tonight on the Chillstream. Well, Bitcoin has hit $72,800, and man, we got a lot to talk about. I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. All right, we are live, and I noticed we already have one comment in the chat. Eagle Pax Sigil. I don't know who you are, sir. Hello, Jimmy. Hello, Eagle Pax Sigil. I'm not sure who you are. Haven't seen you here before. That always kind of raises my awareness a little bit. Like, hey, who's this new guy? Although I noticed my subscriber base went up from 64 to 65. So things are not going the way I'd like them to go, but it matters less and less as time goes forward. Like I said in the intro, Bitcoin new all-time high, 72,880. Just checked it right before the show. We're still at 72K, and so this is kind of a big deal. We've been saying this is going to happen for a long time, and now it's happened. Last week, one of the subscribers here, guy Federico Vasconcelos, said, "Are you going to take profits?" And it bothered me all week that he said that. I'm like, how could you be a subscriber to this show for like 2 years or however long I've been doing it, and think that like you have the US dollar, right? That's what we get paid in. We do our work, whatever we do, we get paid in US dollars, and that's getting weaker. And then you trade your US dollar for this other thing, right? This thing, this Bitcoin thing, and it's getting stronger. And you say, well, that's worked out pretty well. I went from a weak thing to a strong thing. So now let me get rid of the strong thing and go back to the weak thing. Why would you do that? You're going to pay tax. You're going to pay capital gains tax. And then what are you going to do? Buy a shiny bauble? Am I going to buy a Lamborghini? Am I going to get a supermodel girlfriend? Am I going to get a brick of cocaine and snort cocaine out of my supermodel girlfriend's ass crack and drive around in the Lamborghini? No, I'm not doing any of that. I say that to be hyperbolic, to be facetious, to try to be humorous. That's fiat thinking, right? The fiat world where a group of people create fucking money out of thin air, right? And then you are forced by law to use it in order to buy and sell and live and do everything. In that system, people compete for shiniest bauble. You know what I mean? to show off their success in this system where you are a debt slave, right? You're a debt slave. Your government is funded by money printing debt, and you are forced by said government to use currency which is robbing you of at least 2%, and it's more than 2%, every year of your life. The fact that there's now an escape from this, that essentially this global gulag, right? And it's a we live in a global gulag, absolutely. You know what I mean? Central banking is everywhere, and Communist Party is everywhere. Virgil Doc, Purple Heart, welcome to the show, sir. So since we live in a global gulag, that's not a great place to fucking be, man. You know, some of us want to get out, but other guys like Federico Vasconcelos, they don't want to get out. They just want to they want to get rid of this thing, and go back to the US dollar so I can buy, what am I going to buy? A watch or some jewelry or a big house with a swimming pool, and don't let anybody come over because I'm afraid they'll want to rob me. Like, what, you know, you're thinking like you're fiat minded. And I think when I say I want to destroy the Federal Reserve note, people think, well, you're just saying that because you're a 58-year-old guy living in a one-bedroom apartment in New Jersey, and you're angry and bitter that you don't, whatever. Like, you really think that that's why I'm saying this, and that's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because I was not born to be a slave. Right? I may have been born into slavery. Everyone in America born after 1913 was born into slavery, but you don't have to stay there, right? You don't have to stay in the gulag. The gate to the gulag is fucking open. You just got to walk through it. And guys like Federico Vasconcelos don't want to do that. You know, the phrase slaves love their chains makes a lot of sense. When you really meditate on it, they don't want to be free. They just want to, you know, the parameters of their world and what they're allowed to do and think, whatever, they're very happy with. I mean, Federico Vasconcelos, happy with being a slave. He'll die a slave. He'll take the US dollar to the grave with him. You know what I mean? And pass on a pile of worthless paper to his kids if he has any. And that's not me, and that's never going to be me. And the thing about the escape from the gulag, right? The thing about the escape from this global central banking monetary scheme is that you don't have to go all at once. You can go step by step, by step by step by step. And at $72,000, almost nobody can afford one full Bitcoin. I mean, that's outside. No middle class American has got that kind of money laying around, and they would not take a chance on such a risky thing in their minds. They just wouldn't do it, right? But you can step by step, buy a little at a time, and stack up, you know, a tenth, a quarter of a Bitcoin, a third of a Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin, on and on and on. And that would be the smart way to do it. It's logically the only way that most individuals are going to be able to do it. If you were a fanatic like me, or the super lunatics who were balls deep into this in 2013, you know, it's different. But most people are fucking normies. Federico Vasconcelos, he comes here and he wants me to. Oh, James he's gonna do an anti-Semitism. He's gonna do a racism. He's gonna do a homophobia on the internet. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy, you know. And he's doing that because he's a little pissed at his fucking at the puppet masters who were fucking, I don't know, making him go to work at wherever he works. And he wants to be naughty. He wants to come tune into this show, but he doesn't believe for 2 seconds that anything I say is going to happen. Even though it's pretty well, I think I got a pretty good track record in making reasonable predictions, and those predictions coming true, like correctly anticipating what's going to happen, and then shortly thereafter it happens. Sometimes it's comical, sometimes it's not so comical, but that's where we are. So what percentage of this audience really just loves being in the gulag? They love this central bank slavery? I don't know. Probably a higher percentage than you would care to admit. You know, how many of you are thinking, all right, how do I take one step closer to freedom? How do I take one step closer to freedom this week, this month, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Because if you're like me, if you're playing along at home, right? If you're playing along at home, your greatest ally, our greatest ally, is the money printer, you know, and the money printer go burr, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. But here's what we understand as Bitcoiners that other people don't understand is that the money printer will kill itself. It will bleed itself out, right? Hyperinflation or deflationary depression, one or the other is going to occur. One or the other. I don't know which one it's going to be. There's a lot of examples of hyperinflation: Hungary, Germany, Venezuela, Argentina, where else? Lebanon, right? Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe. There's plenty of examples, and you may think, well, that's all brown people who are not very smart, and they'll never happen here. Okay, comfort yourself that way. You can cope that way. But there are a lot of historical examples in the last 100 years of that happening. And to think that it cannot happen here, I haven't heard a good reasoning why it can't happen. Why can't it happen to the dollar? Oh no, that'll never happen. Why? Because you're not allowed to imagine what the world without the dollar being the dominant currency looks like. You cannot imagine it because the people who control your life, what you see, what you think, what you're allowed to think and read and see, they don't want you to imagine. They want you to believe that the U.S. dollar has been here since the beginning of time and will be here till the end of time. And that's absolutely not true. So yeah, Federico Vasconcelos, whatever, man, he's hopeless. There's no point in trying to save guys like this. And I was thinking about it a bunch during the week, and I was thinking about all this, like these classes I take. I go to whatever, like a gun class or a fucking motorcycle school or whatever the fuck, and it's all relatively simple stuff, you know. But it does require some paying attention, some sort of skill in your head. Your brain has to be able to use your central nervous system and your body to do stuff. And some people just suck at this. You know what I mean? And you'll have an instructor go, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna snap our fingers. Ready? What we're gonna do is gonna put our fingers together like this, and we're gonna push the thumb away and pull the finger back, and it's gonna make a snapping sound. Here's what it's gonna be. Here, do this. Right? And the class goes, okay, all right, student number one, do this. And he snaps. Student number two, snap. Student number three, wait, no, I'm sorry, hold on. Student number three, wait. I said, look here. See? Snap. Just snap your fingers like that. Snap. And student number three goes, and the instructor goes, I'm sorry, you watch it. You're doing something close, but it's not two hands, it's just one hand. It's snap. And the student goes, I'm doing exactly what you said. And the instructor's like, you ain't doing what I said. You're not even fucking close. And the student insists, no, I'm doing exactly what you said. I'm doing it exactly right. And they're not. They're fucking off in delusional land. And that's really, really common. And that's as common with physical things and physical tasks and a skill set and motor patterns of the human fucking body and brain. It's as common with physical things as it is with mental things. And Federico Vasconcelos sits here week in, week out, and he listens about fractional reserve banking and fiat currency and hyperinflation and blah 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 blah. And it doesn't matter, right? It does not matter who you elect or what type of government you have, right? It doesn't matter at all. Here's the quote. Here's the famous quote, right? Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. Money is supraordinate. Money is more powerful than any law, anywhere, by any government, ever. That is the simplest. And when you see it here, right? When you see it here, oh, that's that Rothschild quote. You're like, ooh, those evil Jewish Rothschilds, they control everything. And that's mostly true. And you believe it 100% when you see that, you know, that quote. And then when I say, listen, we got a new economic system that these guys don't own and don't control and can't stop, you can't imagine it. Well, what do you mean? They don't own it, they can't control it, and they can't stop it. And you're like, you're scratching, you're like, oh, I get it. And you don't get it. Selling your Bitcoin for fiat, selling something, getting off the strong horse and getting on the weak horse. I don't know what analogy is going to work, right? But very simply, exchanging something that is going up in value for something that is going down in value is just dumb. It's just dumb. And that's not what we ever want to do. The whole idea of profiting, of winning, when you trade your fiat for Bitcoin, you're saving your wealth, the value of your life, in a form that they cannot steal from you. Who are they? And it doesn't matter who they are. It really, at this point, it doesn't even matter who they are. There is a they, right? We know, I say who they are. There is a they, but it doesn't even matter. Knowing who they are, none of that fucking matters anymore. What matters is that you, as quickly and as completely as you can, shift the value of your life into a form of wealth that cannot be stolen from you or inflated away. That is how you profit. That is the profit. And then maybe you profit $10 a week, every week, with a dollar cost averaging, or $25 a month, or $100 a month, or I don't know what it is. I don't know how you would do it. Every third paycheck. I don't fucking know. I don't know how you choose to do that, but you need to do that, because the economic system that you're forced to live in, that we're all forced to live in, is designed to extract every fucking thing from you, everything of value from you, up to the people who absolutely do not need it at all. And they feel that this is why you were born to be their slave. And I don't think I was born to be the slave to anyone. This world, right? This world right here is the world that is being destroyed. This is a world that's going away. It may not look like it now. You may think, no, man, that image is accurate, and that's how things are run. You'll never beat them. We will most definitely beat them. We are beating. And that's what I show every every week, every single week. What do I got? What do I got? Let's show some other people who noticed the kind of thing that I noticed. This is a 1-minute video, and this guy's he ends it right before he says something really dumb, but he's got the right idea.
Aside from 1963, President John F. Kennedy. Up here, oh wait, it doesn't say Federal Reserve note, it says United States note. That means the US government, which every government has the ability to do. Canada used to do it, Germany did it, a whole bunch of other places did it, and guess what? They got really good results. You know what they did? They managed to go ahead and keep any debt at a very reasonable and payable level. Now, this United States note, that's not at interest. It's not a private bank. And JFK was dead within 6 months of issuing this $5 note. We could solve the problems that we face right now. I've said over and over, like a broken record, the head of the snake is the financial system. The reason why they hate people like Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, John F. Kennedy, and the last one, a man named...
They cut him off before he said something dumber than dumb, but historically accurate, right? Anyone who has challenged the control of the central bankers has ended up dead, or they started a war and funded both sides of the war. So that is, President Garfield, right before he was assassinated, right? Where's my Garfield quote? my Garfield quote. Where's it at, bro? Yo, Mr. President. There it is. Whoever controls the volume of money in our country is absolute master of all industry and commerce. When you realize that the entire system is very easily controlled one way or another by a few powerful people at the top, you will not have to be told why there are periods of inflation and periods of inflation and depression originate. 2 weeks after he said that, he caught a bullet, right? Kennedy issued the U.S. Government note. Abraham Lincoln issued the greenback. You know what I mean? They sent assassins after Andrew Jackson. Aaron Burr had to shoot Alexander Hamilton. You know, this is, and then they accused him of murder, even though dueling was legal. They accused him of murder in New York and New Jersey and hounded him the rest of his life. The woman he married all of a sudden got a lawyer out of nowhere who just happened to be Alexander Hamilton Jr. So this is a big problem, and every time, every individual who's tried to go up against it has lost. If you view the wars of history and the changing of regimes as not wars of this ethnic group against that ethnic group or this nation against that nation, if you view them as wars for control of resources, valuable resources, and ultimately wars against central banking. Wars against central banking, only the central bankers ever win. You know what I mean? Everybody else loses. And now that has changed. Now that's changed. And it's important to understand that it's changed, and we're just going to keep winning. It isn't just that Bitcoin's going to go up in value, but we're going to keep winning. What did I put this up last week? Did I put this up last week? Yeah, AI is forcing data centers to consume more energy. The hunt for clean electricity, blah, 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 goes on, right? So, and this was I showed this last week. Department of Energy drops its emergency survey of Bitcoin miners after legal backlash, right? Because the data needs juice, right? I already showed that. I had that twice. Okay. There's this guy, he's a lawyer in New York. He talked about, he was talking about how the airlines in America aren't really airlines, they're banks. They print up miles, they sell the miles to the bank. The miles issue you a credit card, right? The bank issues you a credit card, and they say, here, use our credit card to get free miles towards free travel, right? So even though like American Airlines loses $2 billion a year, it makes $8 billion a year in airline miles that they sell to banks. Well, the guy's a lawyer, smart guy. He's back. And he noticed a little something about electricity. Here, check it out.
Welcome to your favorite show, What These People Not Trying to Talk About Now. Today's episode is brought to you by the fact these people not trying to talk about how in 2023, check out this data, y'all. In 2023, the amount of electricity used in America doubled. Now, this had nothing to do with COVID. COVID was 2020, it's been like this. Bitcoin mining, indoor grows, all this stuff has been around. How do we explain this? And better question, why is nobody paying attention and asking to explain this? Because you know damn well, if in the South Bronx all of a sudden energy usage doubled in 1 year, we would open up every apartment in the South Bronx and say, what the hell is going on? And do something about it. I bet. And I think that the news article, go check out this article, there's reporting out there. What's going on is companies are building data centers throughout the country, and these centers use a tremendous amount of power with tremendously powerful computer chips. Those are the same computer chips that have skyrocketed in value and has the world discussing the possibility of World War III over a little island called Taiwan because they make all the computer chips there. And everybody in the world will tell you about war and this and that, but what they won't tell you is that there's a small group of people and companies with artificial intelligence and robotics building data centers to essentially build a new world. And all that conflict, all that drama is just wool over your eyes to keep you thinking about anything other than the fact that you're going to be a digital slave, not own nothing.
holy crap, digital slavery, lawyer bro. You know, you wouldn't think the guy talks worse than me. Hey, y'all, check it out, y'all. But he's trying to be hip. I understand. First time you do social media, you say dumb stuff, you laugh at inappropriate times, you force it. It's a weird kind of a learning curve, especially if you're not accustomed to being in front of a camera all the time. This is certainly for people from my generation, it's a new thing. For kids, for the millennials, they're born in front of a camera, but the reason why they suck at any sort of content is because they're too comfortable. At any rate, the point this guy makes is that electricity use in America has doubled in a year. And why is that? These data centers and these super hot chips, NVIDIA chips, the CHIPS Act that Congress is pushing billions of dollars towards AMD and Intel to try and catch up with NVIDIA and these other things. Why? Well, they need AI because AI is the next greatest thing, and AI is going to fucking going to change everything, right? Here's a kind of reality, right? JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, right? The apex predators of Wall Street quietly did away with diversity hiring schemes. So diversity, equity, and inclusion just died on Wall Street. It absolutely died, and it's not coming back. Why does that matter? Well, they're the ones that drive this shit. They're the ones that force this on others. They're the ones that that created, affirmative action and stuff like that. They have. They're the ones that push this, right? And some people are starting to notice. This guy started to notice, and I thought it was pretty funny.
You look at what they're doing in New York City, you look at what they're doing in Chicago. They are giving these migrants black people's resources, from food stamps to housing to jobs, you name it. And the reason they're choosing New York and Chicago as the most aggressive migrant replacement is because those are the two strongest black political cities that we have. If you take New York, you take Chicago, you take black America. The immigrants are being allowed to come in to replace us.
Okay, so that guy's pretty funny. He doesn't really. Immigrants are being given black people's resources. No. Immigrants are being given resources paid for by Whitey. Whitey pays for your housing. Whitey pays for your food stamps. Whitey pays for everything for you. Like, it's not yours. You think it's yours. He says New York and Chicago are the centers of it. You don't have any political power, right? You're puppets of the fucking kosher overlords who run both fucking parties. Right? He says New York and Chicago, and then the video shows Martin Luther King, who was from fucking Birmingham, Alabama. But even people at the bottom, right, are noticing that the hustle is changing, right? They're losing their special status. They're losing their special status, and they don't like it that much. And this is not the first time this kind of thing has happened. There was, where is it? Where's my guy? Where's my guy? There was a famous dude. Oh, fuck, where is it? I forgot to put it up there. Are you fucking with me? Oh, man. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, did I see I'm trying to delete stuff before. Oh, well, fuck it. Fuck it. That sucks. Oh well, I was gonna do a funny thing on Black Napoleon, but let's get serious again. Let's be serious and self-important. Article from CBS: AI industry aims to revive nuclear power to fuel itself. So the doubling of the electricity, right, and the fact that monies are being now used to fund people who are not basketball Americans. These two things are kind of related, because you have to keep these people under control. You have to keep these people amused, and you have to keep them from tearing everything up. So the nuclear industry, right, which, if you've ever seen Galen Windsor, the video on YouTube, whatever happens to the what is it? The plutonium economy. If you understand that nuclear power was squashed by these people decades and decades ago, because we had Galen Windsor was studying atomic energy in the 1930s. We had this in the 30s and 40s. We could have everything electric. We could have all the Tesla cars and shit. You could have robots fucking vacuuming your fucking house, cleaning your fucking all kinds of shit with electricity if we had nukes. But the nukes got shut down and have been shut down for a number of decades in America. But now nuclear power is seeing a revival. Well, what's the revival? The revival is to run the fucking data centers they need to keep your fucking ass in line. Now, people like Federico Vasconcelos are never going to get out of line, but some people, like the brother there, seeing that these migrants are taking their shit. Yo, man, they be taking our shit. They're going to kick off some BLM type, civil disobedience, some 1965 type riot shit. Except this time, the National Guard's going to fucking kill them all. You know what I mean? And they don't understand. They're going to lose their fucking. They're going to lose the magical shield that is the federal government that has kept them alive. They're going to lose that shit like this. And that's going to come as a really, really, really big shock to them, because the people that run the show are these people, right? I had a video of this, but it doesn't make sense. Some guy yelling and screaming. They pulled him out of the meeting. But Google fires employee who protested Israel at a tech event as internal dissent mounts. So these tech engineers, these software guys, these algorithm bros have political sympathy for the underdog. And if you remember, Google's original fucking corporate slogan was "Don't be evil." How hilarious is that? That a corporation whose original slogan was "Don't be evil" fires employees for standing up to the fucking underdog. That's this is shit you can't make up. You can't make it up. But big change is coming, right? Big change is coming. Our friend Jay Powell, Jay Powell, Jerome Powell. There will be bank failures caused by commercial real estate losses. What do you mean commercial real estate losses? That's right. All those empty office buildings all across America, they're not paid for yet. There's mortgages on them. And the mortgages get paid by businesses having their little fucking drones do stuff inside office towers. Well, everybody's work from home, and what AI is going to do, aside from spin up a fucking fantasy world that you'll take your edible marijuana or your psilocybin mushrooms or whatever the fuck you're going to take and plug your fucking brain into fucking AI, so you don't notice that you're sitting in a fucking cardboard box in a fucking sidewalk and your life is fucking completely destroyed. The way to distract you from that, right? Pump you full of fucking THC and fucking mushrooms, and then put some fucking blinky screen in front of you so you don't complain. But AI is going to change things, and what AI is going to do is this, right? This is what AI is going to do. J.P. Morgan Chase, the world's largest bank, I think, says that its AI cash flow software cut human work by almost 90%. So all you white collar dudes, you better start thinking. You better start Googling, welding school. You better get your commercial driver's license or learn how to weld or something. Because if you get a white collar job, you're going to be fucking finished. You are going to be finished. It isn't just, oh, ha ha ha, they're not giving jobs to blacks and queers and fucking and fat communists. It's not just that. Those jobs are going to be eliminated forever. AI will do all of this fucking make work bullshit. And that is going to change a lot of fucking things. Where's my boy? Where's my boy here? Here's a quick 15-second clip from the CEO of PayPal. PayPal used to be a big thing back in the fucking 90s. But their stock's been getting hammered. And they had the CEO on one of the talk shows, and this is what he had to say.
that's why I'm here. That's why I'm so excited about it going forward. So look, I love being an underdog. I will take all of that feedback and we'll shock the world.
Yeah, you think you're going to shock the world. How are you going to do that?
We've got an Innovation Day coming out on the 25th.
He loves being the underdog. The CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation is the underdog. That's how we define underdog today, right? We're going to shock the world. What do? They fired 2,800 employees. 2,800 employees at PayPal instantly fired. Well, done. Finished. Bye-bye. AI is going to replace you. If you're a white-collar dude, it's going to replace you. It ain't going to replace a shitty job like I got, right? Not going to replace some job like, here, drive this box from point A to point B. 10 hours in the fucking rain, 12 hours in the rain. There ain't no robot that can do that yet, right? The robots really can't replace us. But you could be taken from your nice white-collar job, which gives you upper middle-class income, and you could be reduced down to my level. And motherfucker, you ain't gonna like that. You aren't gonna like that, but it's gonna happen. AI is gonna replace you. And all this commercial real estate is gonna be fucking empty. And they're gonna try and turn it into housing, right? They're gonna try to, where's the thing? They're gonna try to take all these office buildings and turn them into fucking, whatchamacallit, turn them into residential housing, right? The U.S. wants to boost affordable housing by using billions in unspent COVID aid. I can't believe that there are billions in like how much money was sloshing around in COVID that they didn't suck it all up. But yeah, they're gonna take that money, that leftover COVID money, and they're gonna transform these big corporate office towers into residential housing if they can, and they're gonna fill it with migrants. And hopefully, you know, the migrants and the basketball Americans don't kill each other too much. Not too much. But we know that basketball Americans, you know, they don't really behave real well when they perceive someone disrespecting them. Okay, so where am I gonna go? Let's talk about man. I got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. This one is one of my own personal. This is a STFU James original video that I shot from, once again, from my global command post inside my 2006 Toyota Matrix. The mobile global command post. This is what I noticed the other day. Was that Saturday? It was rainy.
Here we go. The state of New Jersey promoting gay sex. The Driving Equality Forward mobile on the Garden State Parkway. This is how your tax dollars are being spent.
And this is the kind of thing that Bitcoin fixes, right? Because they can take fucking your tax money and give it to some. How many of those cars are around? What are they used for? What do you think? What do you think they're used for on the fucking weekends? You think the cops dare pull them over? Can you imagine? I don't think the New Jersey State Troopers would dare pull that fucking car over, no matter what it fucking did. They're giving away your money to child molesters. And if you complain about it, you know, you've committed a homophobia that's going to be a federal crime soon, or it is a federal crime, and they'll fucking lock you in fucking prison for 20 fucking years because you know, you noticed something that you weren't supposed to notice. But worldwide, shit's changing. I mentioned, you know, in terms of Weimar, in terms of hyperinflation. Well, I said, Lebanon, go to Lebanon and turn right. Make a right turn when you get to fucking Beirut, and here's where you're gonna end up.
Egyptian pound dropped 150% against the euro. So if you're an Egyptian, you had the EGP, the Egyptian pound, you woke up yesterday 150% less money against the US dollars. Can you imagine that? Imagine you had $100,000 in your savings account. You worked your whole life to save. You worked, your grandparents worked, you struggled, woke up every morning 6 a.m., went to work, got back at 7 p.m., had 2 hours of food and dinner and TV and family time, went back to sleep for 40 years. And then you woke up, you had $100,000 saved to pay for your retirement, and you woke up yesterday with $25,000. That's really what's happening to people all around the world. And that's why I've been pushing for years to get into Bitcoin, because it's the first real money humans have ever invented.
Okay, and the guys at Bitcoin, right? Even the dudes at the pyramids, their brains cooking in the fucking Egyptian sun, have figured it out. Have you figured it out? So yeah, you know, that's you know, Weimar, Venezuela, Argentina, you know, Zimbabwe, Hungary, right? Now Egypt, Lebanon. This is happening everywhere. You can't stop the money printer. Money printer, go brrrr. And if you hold Bitcoin, the money printer becomes your greatest ally. The money printer makes you stronger. That's why Bitcoin's at new all-time highs. While it destroys everything else, while it sucks the value out of everything else, commercial real estate, everything, right? Do you see that now, right? For me, I can't stop the money printer, but I can make it my greatest ally. The fact that they run it non-fucking stop, the fact that they run it non-stop.
We print it digitally, so
I can't control that. I can't stop that. Jerome, he does what he wants to do when he wants to do it, you know. But I can turn their mistake to my benefit. I was going to do this really stupid fucking joke. Fuck, I goddamn, I didn't put the fucking picture up. I wonder if I don't still have it on my phone, do I? Do I? Let me hold on. Stand by. This should not be done mid-show. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But I picture some black dude that looked like Napoleon. I was going to call him Nappy Leon. You know, and how he was the famous general from Europe who almost took over Europe. And Nappy Leon, you know, you might have heard of him, but the history books have erased him. And he had two famous sayings. One was "suck my dick," which was misinterpreted at the time. But the other one was "do not interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake." And the enemy of freedom is that money printer. So I'm not going to try and interrupt the money printer. I want to let it keep running, let it bleed itself out. And what I can do is protect myself, and anyone that will listen to me can protect themselves and the people they care about and their children, their grandchildren. You can do that. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do it. You can step by step, DCA in, but everything as you understand it is going to go down. And, you know, whether they're going to take your tax money and give it to queers and the migrants, they're going to give them free rent. They're going to give them mortgages in California. Do you understand you can't stop this? There's no fighting against this. So just let them bleed themselves out. Let them bleed themselves out. Store your wealth, the value of your life, in something they can't fucking steal from you. That seems like the simplest fucking concept, but people don't get it. And they don't get it because they're too comfortable where they are. And even the people that think they know what they're talking about don't know what they're talking about. Here's a chucklehead who, a perfect example of what I just described. You cannot imagine a world different from the one you were born in.
In Bitcoin, what you have is a shadowy elite that is hidden. We don't know who these people are. And if it replaces money, I'm not sure that would be the best outcome for humanity, because all of a sudden they're going to start to appear when they become the most powerful people in the world.
One thing, who do you think runs the central banks today? There's already a shadowy elite that runs.
Yeah, you're right. Trade one for another.
Well, here's the key difference. The current shadowy elite control the rules that govern money. It is a totalitarian regime, whereas even if you gave those same individuals, if you just switched out their current system for a Bitcoin system, they would no longer have control over the system. They can't change the rules of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a game with unbreakable and unchangeable rules, and therefore it incentivizes people to adopt long-term peaceful cooperation as the optimal strategy, because you can't steal from one another. If you just look across history, every great civilization there's ever been, they break the money and then they collapse. It's the same pattern repeatedly. So we need a money that cannot be corrupted.
So we need a money that cannot be broken and will not collapse. There you go, Robert Breedlove. Looking very young there, by the way. And that other dude is like, yeah, it's all the same. This is that. That might be Federico Vasconcelos for all I fucking know. If you can't see it, I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time trying to get you to see. I'm not going to fucking. I tell you to snap, and you keep doing this, and I tell you to snap, and you keep doing this, and I'm like, okay, you win. You're right, 100%. You're the fucking best student I ever had. You understand everything. Ta. Get out of the fucking room right now before I smash you in the head with a fucking baseball bat. So, what else? Of things that don't fucking add up. One of the things I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch Boxing Tube, MMA Tube. I watch Gun Tube. I watch Food Tube. I watch Prison Tube, and I also watch Farm Tube. I know you don't think there's no way there's such a thing as Farm Tube. Yes, there really is Farm Tube, and there's stuff you can learn from it. And these guys have noticed something that that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This is 50 seconds, 50 seconds of the boys over at Farm Tube.
When I saw the Russian invasion of Ukraine, I thought that by now we would see commodity prices start to move, because Russia and Ukraine are the two biggest producers of wheat in the world.
Yep.
And Ukraine's ag sector has got to be just absolutely decimated. Where is all of this wheat going to come from? Because it's not coming from there, because there's nobody farming that ground. Those guys are all in a trench with a gun pointed at some Russian somewhere. You know what I mean?
Their production hasn't dropped.
And that's what I can't figure out.
Could you say setup?
I don't. Well, we need to get a roll of Reynolds Wrap. We always talk about our tinfoil, and then we never have it.
I know.
We need to have tinfoil hats right here that we could just reach for and put on.
So they figured it out, right? Russia and Ukraine export wheat all over the place. If there was a war, their production would have dropped, would have been cut 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%. No one would have any wheat anywhere. The price of wheat would skyrocket, and soybeans and everything else would follow. But it hasn't happened, because the war over there is bullshit. It's bombing for profit, right? BlackRock already has the fucking contract to rebuild Ukraine after Russia loses, and Russia's going to lose. But you know what? The elites in Russia will make enough money off them losing it that it really won't matter. But there isn't very much actual war going on. And to be honest, I don't care if I was in fucking Ukraine or Russia, I'd be fragging my fucking officers. I guarantee you, the reason why they don't have more combat footage is because the fucking enlisted men are just fucking shooting their own fucking officers. I would not be surprised at all to find out that that's happening, which is why they just go over there and you don't need any guns. Just go sit in the field for a little while. That's probably more common than you would think. Okay. All right. So we got that. What are we gonna do? I got a lot of Michael Saylor stuff. What I don't know. Do I want to do it all? Because there's a fucking shit ton of a ridiculous amount of Michael Saylor. But whatever. He's the guy. Let's go. Let's do I don't know, inflation and taxation.
The price of everything is varying everywhere at different rates all the time. Common sense says the price of housing in the Hamptons is going up at a different rate than the price of land in Kansas. And the price in a certain jurisdiction for a certain use, subject to certain regulations, will go up at a different rate than another jurisdiction for another use. So the problem is inflation. Inflation's a phenomena whereby a government authority prints more currency. And why do they print more currency? Because if I want to pay $1 trillion bill, I either have to tax you $1 trillion resurrect to print $1 trillion of money. Turns out that it's a lot easier to print money than it is to tax people. And so it's either inflation or taxation. Throughout the history of the world, every single coinage system, every monetary system ever established collapsed because of inflation.
So that's true. They take the coins and, you know, they reduce the amount of gold and silver in the coins until they're not worth what you think they're worth. But things that have some value, things that are rare and have rare and desirable, go up. This is 24 seconds of St. Michael talking about his spot in Miami Beach.
My house in Miami Beach was purchased for $100,000 in 1930. Okay, I bought it for $14 million.
This is the villa.
In 2012. Today, you know, yeah. So 100,000 to 50 million in less than 100 years. That's not the house getting more valuable. That's the currency getting less valuable.
So I don't know that you could be any clearer. A $100,000 house in 1930 is now worth $50 million. So, oh, I only have X amount of Bitcoin. It doesn't matter right now. Oh, I only have $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. I only have 800. Whatever you have 10, 20, 30 years from now is going to be fucking enormous. And if you think ahead to your children or your grandchildren or your retirement, depending on what age you are, you can see the point of increasing the amount of this thing that they can't steal from you. It seems super obvious, but you know, not everybody gets it. Not everybody gets it. What else? Let's do another sailor bit.
They could just say to this broker or banker they've been doing business with, I bought a house, I want a big mortgage on it, and I'm going to post a little bit of my Bitcoin as or securities as down payment against that mortgage, and I use it to get a mortgage, or I use it to get a margin loan, or maybe I could hedge against it. And so these ETFs opened up an entire financial world of awareness and opportunity and functionality to the 99% mainstream investors. And you really can't underestimate just how profoundly important that is to the entire network.
And that's true. That's why we're at 72K. Now, here's where an example of how they're going to fail. They, and I mean the central bankers and their agents, they have this strategy that's worked for them over and over again historically, and they're just going to keep trying to do it. Part of the reason why I show Michael Saylor a lot, St. Michael, he's not that much of a saint. I mean, did I mention this last week? I thought he was really good at avoiding the freaks. I was like, wow, this guy's really good at this. But then he fucked it up. Well, he didn't fuck it up. I guess he feels like it's inevitable. And this is this next 59-second clip really gets the point across. But there's going to be something here. I took some a still photograph to show you. This is Bitcoin Atlantis. I don't know where the fuck it was. Somewhere near the Atlantic Ocean. And Sailor's on stage with that fucking demented freak, Len Alden. But here's what he has to say about the current era.
We're in the Bitcoin gold rush. It started in January of 2024, and it will run till about November of 2034. How many people know what happened in November of 2034? In November of 2034, 99% of all the Bitcoin will have been mined, and the last 1% comes out over the next 100 years. So for all practical purposes, the stock to flow ratio of Bitcoin is infinity in 2034. It becomes noise. At the beginning of the gold rush, no bank could custody Bitcoin, no institutional investor could buy Bitcoin, no Wall Street trading firm. When those spot ETFs were approved, that created a fire or an avalanche. The genie's out of the bottle. It doesn't matter who's elected president next. It doesn't matter who's the next head of the SEC. No politician's opinion, no banker opinion, no regulator opinion matters after that date. That kicked off the gold rush.
And that was this year. That was July 11th of 2024, and he's got it right. What What Michael Saylor just said is this, right? Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. Except the control of money now is not in the hands of a small group of people who hate you and think you're a slave. The control of money now is in computer software that cannot be corrupted. It can't be shot. It can't be killed. It can't be bribed. Can't be kicked out of office. You know, this is a way bigger deal than most people can wrap their heads around. But in the meantime, there's fun stuff. There's going to be fun, cool stuff like this. Believe it or not, I like. Man, I fucking can you make this shit up? You remember those two dorks who hacked Bitfinex? They didn't hack anything. One guy was a security expert. The exchange hired him as a security expert. Like, hey, how could we improve the security of our exchange? Here's all our passwords and here's all our account information. And after he made some recommendations, he kept the passwords and the account information. He didn't change anything, and he just stole all their fucking Bitcoin. The FBI caught them because there were some suspicions, finally, years later, about who the hackers were. Oh, could it have been our security fucking consultant? So they found out that their Uber Eats password turned out to be their password for everything, including the Dropbox account where they kept all the Bitcoin, and the FBI recovered 70-80% of the Bitcoin. And the Jewish guy and his so-called Turkish wife, whose name was like Morgan something or other. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. A Turkish woman named Morgan. Yeah, go figure. But well, they're making a movie about it. There's going to be a Bitcoin heist film with the Chloe Grace. I don't know who the fuck she is, but she's going to be starring in the Bitcoin caper film, like Ocean's 11. Like all like all these caper films, The Getaway with Steve McQueen, right? Like The Big Short, all this, financial world kind of stuff. Yeah, they're making a movie about those two fucking super dorks. Go figure, right? This is when I said the 2020s are going to be like full of insane spectacles, man. Like it really is just an insane spectacle. But I meant to show if you saw Michael Saylor, the Saylor video where he says, "Listen, it doesn't matter who's elected president, whatever Wall Street banker, doesn't matter." This is the motherfucker that they had on the stage near him. This is that Len Alden, and I've drawn an arrow to one of the most significant feature of this fucking sick freak, right? That motherfucker's Adam's apple is enormous. And so I commented on it on the video, right? And what I commented was Len Alden's Adam's apple can be seen from outer space. And I got 3 likes. So people notice. And every time I see that shit pop up in my YouTube feed, I always point this out, right? There's no fucking hiding this, right? That dude's Adam's apple's as fucking big as mine. They're trying what the value of putting that sick fucking freak next to Michael Saylor is, I don't know. What do you think is going to happen? All these people fail to understand Bitcoin and how it works. You just don't understand how it works, and you don't want to be bothered learning. Okay, that's fine. I'm really not here to fucking educate you. You get it or you don't get it. This guy gets it. Financial journalist Alan Kohler. Bitcoin is an insurrection. You're fucking right. It is. It is an insurrection against central banking. It is an insurrection against the fifth column, or the fifth. The fifth tenet of the Communist Manifesto, that central banking and control of fiat currency is essential for the spread of communism, right? we are directly attacking. And that guy gets it. I doubt anybody's ever going to listen to him. They're going to think he's a kook, but he gets it. He understands. There's some people that understand. But trust me, you can't stop it. We're going to win. Although you should avoid Coinbase. Here, once again, Bitcoin tests 70K while crypto community tongue lashes Coinbase after its third crash. If you're buying Bitcoin off of Coinbase, you're just dumb. Just go to Kraken or go to Gemini or go to Cash App. Or just don't use Coinbase, please, because as soon as the price pumps, they're gonna crash. And they've been doing this for like 10 fucking years. And this is the one that the SEC has picked for their fucking market, their market maker. But other people are more. Other people are better prepared, right? Mind you, Coinbase is doing this shit all over the place, right? Like it's not just in America; they're also probably the biggest in Europe. So they're just fucking people over left and right, left and right, left and right. However, not everyone's that dumb. In Germany, they've got it figured out a little bit. The German police have seized a bunch of Bitcoin from some thieves, but German bankers have figured out that, you know what, the future is going to be Bitcoin based. And so they have launched a Bitcoin and crypto trading platform for institutions, not for rich dudes, for institutions. When I tell you giant corporations and nation states are going to be aping into this the next 2 years, I don't know what the fuck the next 2 years are going to look like. I have no fucking idea. We are in totally unfucking charted territory. And the next 2 years are going to be pretty fucking interesting. Pretty interesting indeed. In the meantime, you got these fucking clowns. You say Russians are all depressed. They just drink vodka. This is not vodka. But they just drink vodka and they're depressed. And they read Dostoevsky and listen to Tchaikovsky. No, they make jokes. The Russians make jokes. You think I'm lying? You think I'm making that up? I'm not making it up. Here's a Russian joke. Yes. Guess what? Oh, watch out, Bitcoiners. Oh, here it is. Look out. It's the rise of the digital ruble. Yes, you heard that right. The ruble, the shittiest piece of paper ever issued by any central banker ever, is going digital. Look out, Bitcoin. We're coming for you. I promise you I will not lose a wink of sleep over that. Not a wink of sleep at all. The future for us, really bright. This is the future for us. Laser-eyed, bull market. We're gonna fucking take over the world. Not making this up. People think, oh, you're just saying that because you're a 58-year-old dude in a one-bedroom apartment in New Jersey. If you could think outside the little box that they put you in, you would see some pretty interesting stuff, some pretty amazing stuff, and good stuff coming. You know, mind you, not tomorrow, but without a doubt, it's coming. And there's nothing they can do to stop it. They can't fucking stop us. We're gonna fucking take over. Bitcoin's gonna do things to the world that once AI falls on its face and once people realize the robots are fucking bullshit. The real world is controlled by people who produce things of value, who have valuable skills and who can do stuff, who can solve real problems. Those people are going to be reshaping this world for the better. But some of you, listen, some of you are going to fucking stay. Some of you are going to be doing this shit. Here's what you're going to be doing.
We just
you're going to
had
be doing
a
this.
big wallet come out of nowhere. It's a top 10 wallet now. It swallowed up 75,000 Bitcoin without a test transaction. So BlackRock, scooch over a little bit. There's someone else getting into the game. Now we have a wallet, number 7, that just had their first inflow yesterday, and it was an inflow of 75,177 Bitcoin. There's literally no test transaction. You can see here that the Bitcoin started from a Binance cold wallet. Now, it came in a bunch of different transactions, then it went out, like 15,000 Bitcoin went to one wallet, and then 115,000 Bitcoin went to a different Binance cold wallet. It's a weird situation, right? We don't know exactly who this is. Maybe it's some whale. It's impossible to know right now. This could be, I don't know, some billionaire buying a bunch of Bitcoin and then just moving it around. Maybe they have some kind of bot that's trading for them. It's impossible to know.
All right, there's no bots that trade for you. These guys that want to play blockchain detective. Oh, this happened, that happened. What are you wasting your time with that? Figure out how to take your time and your money and turn it into Bitcoin. Don't worry about what the whales are doing. And that's probably, by the way, that's probably just an exchange moving things from this wallet to that wallet. It's not a whale. This guy's mind is locked into, oh, Joey Rich Kid bought 75,000 Bitcoin. Maybe, but it's much more likely that Coinbase or some miner, and the miners are going out of business, just said, here, take all this stuff, sell it, send us the money, because we're gonna be knocked out of business. Don't play detective, right? This is not a fucking, don't worry about the shadowy elites. Don't worry about any of that. Figure out how you can turn your time and energy into something they can't steal from you, and you will improve your life. And as the future comes forward, as AI eats up jobs and the COVID money takes office towers and turns them into fucking migrant housing, and the basketball Americans go fucking nuts and all the rest. Like, as all of that happens in the background, your personal life and the life of your family will get brighter and brighter, right? There'll be more opportunities going forward if you do this the right way, which is you trade your fiat currency, right, which is getting weaker, Bitcoin, which is getting stronger. Your life will improve, right? And that's it. And then you will hear this song. The song, by the way, or version of this. There's different versions of it. I just saw this video. Last one I'm going to play for the evening. But if you hate this video, you might as well unsubscribe now, because I'm probably going to be playing this or some variation of this a lot in the next year or two. But this is our song.
No, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
So, if you think that was a funny song, you like it, and you were singing along, and you started dancing around your fucking room, then you got your mind right. If you fucking hated it, you think it's the dumbest, most retarded, stupid shit you ever fucking heard, well, enjoy life in the gulag. Ain't a fucking thing I can do for you. And you know what? Sooner or later, they're gonna find out you listen to the show, and then they're gonna tie you to the fucking whip post, and you will never ever get the position of house Negro that you want. You will always be, you'll always be a field Negro. Egro Pack Sigil. It was a good song. It is, sir. It is a good song. It is the I don't know, whatever, the Bitcoin national anthem or something. I don't know what the fuck it is. There's different versions of that floating around the internet, and various different video clips, which go from retarded to like double retarded. But it's all, view it correctly, view it in the lighthearted sense. Understand when I say your future gets brighter, dopey videos like that, they're a giggle. You know what I mean? They're true on one level, but it's meant to put you in a positive frame of mind and keep you there. If you stay on the right track, you know what? Your life gets better. Certainly, it's been true in my case, and it can be true for you too. But you have to get up and you have to walk out of that fucking gate. You have to walk out of this fucking gulag system that you're in. It's not your fault you were born into debt slavery. It's not your fault, right? It's not your parents' fault. It's not the boomers' fault. But you have to get out of it. It's your responsibility to get out of it. That is what I want you to think about as we go forward in the next couple of years. And the next couple of years are going to be interesting as fuck. With that, I'm at 1 hour and 10 minutes. 1 hour and 10 minutes. Gotta mention this. Gotta mention that the like button needs to be smashed. You know what I mean? You need to smash the like button because whatever algorithm or whatever fucking spook fucks with this channel on occasion, when I see the fucking the video gets six likes and only 2 views or whatever. So they do all sorts of dumb shit. I look at it, it has 6 likes, and then I look at it 3 days later, it has 4 likes. So, you know, make these lazy fucking federal parasites do their fucking job. Smash up the like button, which is it's a symbolic act of defiance against the parasites who would keep you and your posterity enslaved. With that, look forward to talking to you guys again next week.